As NBA fans, we were just gifted one of the craziest playing games we've ever seen. I cannot recall all the playing games, so I'm not going to call it the best, but this is definitely one of the craziest games we've seen in a long time. We saw the Hawks take out the Miami Heat and the Lakers take out the Timberwolves in the playing games to lock in that 7th seed. I predicted both of those teams winning in the playing games. Just gonna, leave that there, link in the description to that video where I predict all the playing games. But these games, at least the Lakers game, was insane. We're going to talk about the Hawks game first, get it over real quick. But if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below if you enjoy the content and everything. It really does mean a lot and does a ton for the channel. But let's get into these games. So the Atlanta Hawks took care of business against the Miami Heat in a pretty big win at Miami too. Trae Young played pretty good. DeJounte Murray played pretty good. But Onyeka Okongwu, I think, was the MVP of the game. Onyeka Okongwu played great basketball. And Clint Capella, oh my gosh, that man had 21 rebounds, I believe. Playing great defense. Like, it was a great game for the Atlanta Hawks. Their offense was very free-flowing and everything in the beginning, while Miami wasn't playing that great a defense in the first half. But in the second half, Miami started to pick it up, make a little fake comeback, but then the Atlanta Hawks closed them out. Honestly, Jimmy Butler did not play that well at all. Like, he was missing a lot of point-blank layups in, like, the whole game. I don't know what was going on with him. Bam was hardly involved offensively. Like, I don't know what was going on with the Heat. I expected them to lose this game, but not in really this fashion. The rebounding differential was awful for the Miami Heat. I believe the Atlanta Hawks finished with like 60 rebounds and like 30 of them offensive or something crazy like that. I think 20 of them were offensive, and then the Miami Heat only had like 30 rebounds compared to the Atlanta Hawks 60. The Hawks defense also was pretty good this game, and Trae Young, for being called a bad defender basically his whole career, he did not play too bad defensively. And offensively, not a single soul on the Miami Heat could keep up with him this game. He was blowing past everybody, doing his little floaters or lobs to John Collins or Clint Capella or Onyeka Okongwu or something. But towards that second half, the Hawks kind of looked a little dysfunctional. Kyle Lowry was playing the best game he's ever played for the Miami Heat, and it was starting to get close, but the offensive rebounding for the Atlanta Hawks just took over the whole game. Trae Young, DeJounte, everyone else, DeAndre Hunter had himself a pretty good game. Everyone was just cooking for the Atlanta Hawks, and even though it got close a little bit towards that third, fourth quarter area, the Atlanta Hawks definitely took over and closed out the Miami Heat, and are now going to face the Boston Celtics in round 1. And the Miami Heat are going to go on to face the winner of the Chicago-Toronto game. That's going to happen today, probably as you're seeing this video. I mean, technically it's today as I'm recording this, it's 12:20. So they're going to go against the winner of that game, which I predicted to be the Chicago Bulls. Now let's get into the game of the year, honestly. This game honestly started off way different than I expected. Minnesota was taking over the entire time. Like, Cat was balling, Mike Conley was balling, Taurean Prince, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Kyle Anderson. Like, all these guys are playing really good in the absence of Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels. Like, this team definitely was coming out of nowhere, surprising everybody against this Lakers team, who basically everybody picked to win this game. Minnesota held them to pretty bad shots. Anthony Davis didn't get going until the fourth quarter. LeBron was like in and out, kind of like he wasn't like blowing anyone away. D'Angelo Russell didn't really have that good of a game. The Lakers were not playing that good at all, especially defensively. They were not getting stops. They might have hit like 2 shots in a row or something, but they could not get going offensively. The Minnesota Timberwolves were leading this game and had this game in their control for about 90% of regulation, and then about like 6-7 minutes into the fourth quarter, it just went downhill, and it never stopped going downhill for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I believe their last bucket of regulation was a Mike Conley 3, and it was like 5 minutes in the fourth quarter left. They didn't score another field goal that entire time after that 3-pointer. In a lot of this game, the Lakers were like doing a bunch of fake comebacks. Like, they were like down 15, they would bring it to like 5, and then Karl Anthony Towns and Minnesota Timberwolves would like go up by 10 or something. So I was like, all right, the Lakers are doing another fake comeback. They're gonna just, like give up another 3 baskets in a row. But this time in the fourth quarter, Dennis Schroeder, LeBron, Anthony Davis, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, like, these guys just out of nowhere just started playing their heart out after it seemed like they were not trying the entire game. Out of nowhere, it felt like game 7 of the finals for them, and they were just playing their hearts out. LeBron was diving on the floor like he was like going crazy. I was writing notes for both of these games while they were going on, but around the 4th quarter for the Lakers Timberwolves game, I just stopped writing notes because how insane the game was getting. Like, I was like, all right, I can't be on my phone for this. I gotta lock in, just watch the game for myself. The Lakers defense though was what really won them this game, or at least brought it to overtime, because they were locking down the Timberwolves so much. Anthony Edwards had an awful game throughout the whole game, not even just the 4th quarter. The whole game he was playing bad, and especially in the 4th quarter, they were forcing awful shots from the Timberwolves because of their great defense. The Timberwolves were forced to shoot like fadeaway threes contested when the shot clock was running down because of how good this Lakers defense was playing. Anthony Davis turned it up to 100 defensively. He was blocking shots. LeBron was blocking shots. Vanderbilt was getting in passing lanes. Like, it was incredible defense that was being played by the Lakers out of nowhere too. Karl-Anthony Towns also got in foul trouble again in the playing game after he did it last year. What made me mad, I'm not even a Lakers fan, but what made me mad was seeing the Lakers see Karl-Anthony Towns with 5 fouls throughout the 4th quarter and overtime, and they did not even attack him, not like once or twice. But the Lakers were down maybe like 5-10 in the 4th quarter. They went on a run. Dennis Schroeder had an amazing game. The stat line might not say it, but that man rolled his ankle, was on a sore Achilles. It did not even seem like it one bit. Like, he was out there making runs, making timely shots for the Lakers. And when it mattered most, 95-92, I believe was the score. LeBron pull-up 3, splash, tied the game 95-95. After that 3, both teams completely froze up on offense. I don't know what happened. Neither team was scoring. And then it went down to like the last couple seconds. The Lakers were inbounding the ball. The ball was tipped, going down court. Torian Prince and LeBron were chasing it. LeBron dives for it, and then the Timberwolves have it. And Anthony Davis locks up Kyle Anderson, makes a backcourt violation happen, gives the ball back to the Lakers with less than 24 seconds left on the game clock. So they had the last shot of the game. LeBron had the ball. He was dribbling down to the last shot, last second. He drives in, passes it to Dennis Schroeder, open 3 in the corner, and splashes it in. Lakers had the lead. I believe it was 98-95. I forgot the score, but they had the lead by 3 points. He was doing the ice in the veins in front of the Timberwolves bench. LeBron was doing the ice in the veins half court. The Lakers looked like they won this game. No doubt about it. They're going to the 7th seed. But then the 1-something seconds left happened. Timberwolves called that timeout. Mike Conley gets open in the deep corner, like deep corner, and he shoots it, misses, bricks off of the backboard, off the side of the corner of the backboard, but Anthony Davis freaking collides into Mike Conley and gives him 3 free throws with 0.1 second left to tie the game and force overtime. I don't know why I'm describing the game like y'all didn't see it, but it was an insane game. Like, Anthony Davis fouled Mike Conley on the 3. He shot 3 free throws, tied the game, clutch free throws. He had the ice in the veins at that time. Then overtime happens, and honestly, overtime was Lakers the entire time. Like, the Lakers had overtime completely in their control. Minnesota Timberwolves once again played awful offense, could not stop Anthony Davis or LeBron or anybody on the Lakers. It was really just the fact that everyone was tired. That's probably why it was seeming a little slow. But the Lakers had overtime in their control. Anthony Davis was flexing on Cat, like it was getting intense. Lakers won in overtime after AD almost choked the whole game by fouling Mike Conley, but Lakers still went on to win in overtime by a decent margin, and they are going on to that 7th seed to face the Memphis Grizzlies in the first round, which is going to be an amazing series to watch, especially after how sloppy they were this game. Hopefully they fixed up some stuff up, then they can really match up against the Grizzlies, and that'll be definitely fun to watch. This is definitely one of the biggest Lakers W's in a very long time, probably since the bubble year. Like, this game was huge, especially if they go on to maybe not to win the championship, but like Western Conference Finals or something. Like, this was huge, especially with the fact that they just went to the 2nd round, or they're going against the 2nd seed, not the 2nd round, to face the Memphis Grizzlies. and that kind of leads them into a playoff route that is much easier if they were going against the Nuggets and they were the 8th seed. Then they would have to face either the Suns or Clippers in the second round. Now, if they do defeat the Grizzlies in the first round, they go to the second round. They're facing the Kings or the Warriors. I believe those teams are much more beatable for the Lakers than the Suns and Clippers would be if they faced them in the second round. This is a huge win for the Lakers. They make their playoff route much easier if they want to go on to the finals or Western Conference Finals or whatever. And it's also just more rest. Like with this team having LeBron, much older than everybody, Anthony Davis, you know he needs rest. They need as much rest as possible, and they got that with this win. May have been hard fought, may have been a grinded out game, but they have rest, and now they can just look forward to the playoffs and chill until then. The Memphis Grizzlies, I'm gonna be honest, besides that last like 12 minutes of basketball that was awful, this was actually a pretty impressive game until that, awful stretch happened. They had no Jaden McDaniels, no Rudy Gobert, no Naz Reid, and they were beating a team that a lot of people see coming out the West or at least making it to the conference finals. It's just the fact that the Lakers really turned it up defensively, and then Anthony Edwards was playing one of his worst games of his career. Like, if Ant just plays like 60% better, they win this game easily. 60% is probably giving him too much, like maybe 30%, and they still win this game if Anthony Edwards plays 30% better. He was playing such a bad game. Like, he only made 3 field goals, 2 field goals or something out of like 17 attempts. Granted, his last attempt was a buzzer beater, 3 at the end of overtime when they already lost, but what, 3 of 16, is that much better? Like, Anthony Edwards had a bad game. But shout out to the Timberwolves, they were winning a lot of this game until that last 12 minutes or so. If they can do that, what they did this game, but eliminate the real bad mistakes towards the end, and they do this against whoever wins the Pelicans OKC game, they're going to get that 8th seed without a doubt. Especially if Rudy Gobert comes back, which, let's hold our horses though, because we don't know if this team is going to be better or worse with him on the team again. But with Rudy Gobert off of this team, they played very well, and Rudy Gobert hopefully doesn't mess this up in their next game coming up. One of the craziest games in the short history of the playing game just went down in front of our eyes, the Lakers versus the Timberwolves, and ironically, the other really good playing game was the Lakers but versus the Warriors when LeBron lied about him shooting at 3 rims and he just aimed at the middle one. This game is definitely impressive for the Lakers. The fact that they were able to play a awful 3.5 quarters and still win the game in overtime, like, that is incredible. If they just play what they played like in the second half of the fourth quarter, if they play like that the entire game, they can go pretty far. But that is a big if, because we don't know how consistent this Lakers team can actually play. But if LeBron is playing good, he's putting up that 30, 10, and 8 game, I think that was his stat line. Anthony Davis is playing great defense and putting up 20, 25. Like, this team can go far. Vanderbilt plays good, Austin Reeves plays good, Dennis Schroeder, Rui Hachimura. Like, this team can really go far. And the fact that they were able to win this game after playing awful 3.5 quarters in, that is very impressive. But if they want to go far, I gotta say it again, they have to play consistent the entire game. They cannot just wait to turn up in the last 5 minutes and expect to win every single playoff game, especially against a second-seeded Grizzlies team. But anyway, if y'all like this video, hit the like button down below, subscribe button, notification bell, so you can be notified as soon as I upload. It's the plan. It's the playoffs coming up soon. We're going to be uploading a ton of videos, so be ready for that. If you agree, disagree, or you're on the fence with what I'm saying, put it down in the comments below. Let's have a conversation about it. Be respectful, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.